Hey, what's up guys? 2017 is here. I want to wish you all a happy new year. So let's talk movies. Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage is coming out later this month. So let's go back and look at the first film in the franchise, 2002's Triple X. This film starred Vin Diesel as Xander Cage, as well as Asia Argento, Samuel L. Jackson, Martin Chokas, and it was directed by Rob Cohen. The story in this one, if you could really call it that, follows an action sports junkie named Xander Cage, who has built a massive online following from his outrageous stunts. He has been recruited by a government agency for a special mission, one that requires a look and attitude that might be right up his alley. It has been 15 years since this film was released, and it is just as ridiculously absurd, over the top, and also just as mindlessly entertaining as I remember. For what it wanted to be, Triple X was a success. Vin Diesel was in the process of building his legacy as an action star, and even today he still feels perfect for the role of Xander Cage. His delivery of cheap one-liners and puns was surprisingly charismatic, and despite the dumb material, he conveys it with energy and makes the most out of some flat-out moronic dialogue. Diesel was perfect for the anti-hero this film wanted him to be. He felt every bit the part of the adrenaline junkie slash stuntman with his physicality, and he pulls off the bad attitude and disrespect for authority with a fun, charismatic performance. You will not be doing yourself any favors by dissecting the storyline, given it's riddled with cliches and stock characters. The story was not the focus of this film, but merely the device to cram as many wild stunts into a single film as possible. It was clear the script was simply there to provide scenarios for Diesel's character to constantly use his extreme sport skills to create spectacular action sequences, and for the most part they surprisingly work. Do not worry about the mission of the plot, it's stupid. Do not look too hard into the generic villain, we all know he is going to die. Do not invest any interest in the love story of this film, it's a simple plot device and builds zero plausibility. Just enjoy this film as a pure action romp that will give you some chuckles and an overabundance of action, and by doing so you will find yourself much more entertained by this movie. This was not an intricate script, and it never really gave off the appearance of trying to be one. I mean, it has Vin Diesel, he's snowboarding from an avalanche, jumping an exploding barn on a dirt bike, skydiving out of a Corvette that he drives off a bridge. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. A plausible story formula was clearly not the intent. You can tell the film does not take itself seriously, and even the characters kind of give off the feel of amusement at the lines they're delivering, which does create an engaging, lighthearted feel. This is certainly not a film to take seriously, but to simply sit back, turn the brain off, and see a collection of stunts that were shot with so many cameras that the editing of this movie ensures that you will see everything possible, with many cuts from various angles, added with some slow motion capturing. Normally this would really come across as nothing but forced. However, for this film it really works because there is some classic stunt work created in this project. I mean, every single action set piece could have been shot in front of a green screen and finished off with CGI, but the effort and orchestration of actually performing many of the stunts in real time was very commendable. There were some great shots, and overall the cinematography was excellent. This film sold itself on the spectacle, and the cinematography ensured that it caught all the action. This movie was entirely too long without a doubt though, and that was the main hindrance of it. A ridiculous story like this can either work to entertain or feel like a waste of time, but when the length drags out too long, either way they kind of feel like the latter. While I did find fun in this one, it was entirely too stretched out, and it could have done itself a huge favor by wrapping itself up like 20 minutes early. But I guess to the filmmaker's credit, the pace never really falters. There was just so many action sequences they wanted to fill with this script. The story just gets a little repetitive. This one could have also done without all the scene openings coming from the perspective of the Triple X tattoo on the back of his neck. It was not major, but after a while it was like, okay, we get it. Yeah, but it remains to be seen if Diesel can turn the character of Xander Cage into a full-fledged action icon. But regardless, I thought the first film in this growing franchise is the classic definition of a guilty pleasure movie for all those fans of like over-the-top action movies. And overall, I'll give Triple X a C+. It's the definition of dumb fun. Diesel pretty much plays the exact same character he does in the Fast and the Furious, but it works for this movie. And that's my review of Triple X, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know the trailers look incredibly ridiculous, but are you really interested in seeing what the return of Xander Cage is going to deliver? Did you like this first film? Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I will also have some throwback reviews coming out this month in anticipation for Split. I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite M. Night Shyamalan films, as well as talking about the first John Wick to get ready for Chapter 2 coming out in early February. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a new review. Thanks so much for watching. As always, guys, I definitely appreciate it. I'm Anthony. This is a Silver Screen Analysis, and I'll see you guys at the movies.